Let's annotate the text, the Space Shuttle decision. The first thing you're going to do is put your name at the top. Next, we need to remember our purpose for annotating. Annotating is a strategy, but we do it for lots of different reasons. In our case, we are going to be annotating this text with the purpose of determining our central idea and important key details. Next, now that we have our purpose, we are going to read our first paragraph. On an afternoon in July 1969, while the Apollo 11 mission stood poised for a flight to the moon, Tom Paine found himself confronted by a group of civil rights demonstrators. Their leader was Reverend Ralph Abernathy, president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Abernathy had succeeded Martin Luther King in that post, following the death of King a year earlier. Abernathy now came to Cape Canaveral on the eve of NASA's triumph. Now that we've read it, we're going to go back in and see if there is important information that we should highlight or any notes that we need to take. Remembering that our purpose is to determine the key details and that will help lead us to our central idea. The first thing that I am going to go in and highlight are any names of people, because when we're looking at key details or central ideas, we need to remember who this article is about. So right away, I'm going to highlight Tom Paine because it mentions him in this very first sentence. Tom Paine. They also mentioned Reverend Ralph Abernathy. Another thing that is important in here in terms of people is, I've never heard of either two of these people, but they give us some additional information about who Ralph Abernathy is. Who is he? He succeeded, which means that he came after Martin Luther King Jr. In terms of being the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. We also know from this first paragraph, this first sentence where it says, confronted by a group of civil rights demonstrators, we know that these people that are being led by Reverend Ralph Abernathy, we know that they're civil rights demonstrators. I'm going to consider that a person. I'm going to keep them all highlighted in the same color. The other thing now that we need to think about is, are there any notes that I need to take? So I'm immediately starting to think about some questions. So civil rights demonstrators, what does this have to do with NASA? So I'm going to literally write a question. I'm going to write civil rights demonstrators. And I'm going to put a question mark because that's a question for me. And I'm going to write the word why. So why are the civil rights demonstrators here at the Apollo 11 mission? Like, that seems strange to me. At this point in time, I feel like I have noted everything that I need to understand about paragraph 1. I would then move on to the next paragraph.